We just got some brand new Chapter 4 updates, along with some brand new concept art and cut content for Poppy Playtime Chapter 3, along with some brand new Chapter 3 patches that bring a lot more to the game than you actually think, and a lot more. So without further ado, let's go hop into this news video. Okay, starting it all off, Isaac, of course, I guess updated his bio for Twitter or X, whatever you call it now, saying that I just want to make the best games I can, making Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. And DevTools. But as you guys can see, Chapter 4 is now there, meaning they're of course 100% in production for Chapter 4. Of course, with this long tweet, this old tweet that's like, what, January 30th, so it was still a little while ago. Zach actually said the next one will be even better. We are full steam ahead, He literally posted this, like, what, the exact day Chapter 3 release, or the day before Chapter 3 release, just to let you know, yeah, this was the day of Chapter 3's release. So yes, they are already full steam ahead, and it's great to see some more updates in Chapter 4 and how they're already working on it. Who knows, they could be making the characters' designs, or who knows, they can actually be making the game itself. They could be so far into development we have no idea, or they could be in the beginning, who knows, but whatever it is, they're full steam ahead production on Chapter 4. Also, when we speak about Chapter 4, I did a whole entire little theory tweet on Twitter, or post, talking about how we, of course, only 2 weeks in, and next Tuesday will mark 3 weeks since Chapter 3 officially came out. But we can already make predictions for the next teaser, or the very first teaser, because we all know, guys, that the very first Chapter 1's, when the first Chapter 1 released, and then we got the Chapter 2 teaser, it was only an 8-day difference, which is, of course, pretty short, but we do know that they're already working on Chapter 2 before even Chapter 1 even released. But for Chapter 2, we had to wait around 3 months until we got the very first teaser for Chapter 3. So definitely for Chapter 4, we can wait anywhere between 1 to 4 months, since this is, of course, going to be probably an even bigger chapter. We might have to wait a little bit longer or just a little bit less, but next Tuesday will mark 3 weeks since Chapter 3 release, so we're going to have to usually probably wait around 1 to 4 months until we can finally get ourselves the very first teaser. Also going to for more Poppy Playtime news, the official Mob Entertainment page uploaded like literally a few days ago, this photo I took a few minutes when, it just came out, is the brand new Sleep Well song for Poppy Playtime Chapter 3. The song was made by CG5, and this animated was of course made by Mob Entertainment, and it was amazing. I gotta say, the animation is just great. It's just a perfect video for Chapter 3, so if you're interested in that, go check it out. It's peak. Of course, this little cover, it's just so simple and just so nice. It says sleep well, so all the smiling critters with Catnap being burnt off because, he's rejected. It's just perfect detail. We also got some more news by Mob Entertainment that, and we know that the Monsters Immortals DLC for Poppy Playtime is officially going to be available on the Epic Store later. It's already available now, and of course, Mob Entertainment said that certain characters will appear in Monsters Immortals, which you already know. It's Huggy Wuggy and, Kissy Missy. We already know them. I already did a whole entire video talking about that DLC. Now going on to the patches, Chapter 3 has recently just got a brand new patch. Only a day ago, they've been actually uploading a patch within 2 weeks. It's pretty crazy. And of course, last Friday, they actually went and dropped another patch, which is of course the bigger patch of the two. As you guys can see here, they added some new major gameplay changes. They added some new lights, little tiny content like that. And of course, they just fixed a lot of different bugs and issues, which just makes the game a lot more cleaner and better. The one we got last Friday, though, added in a bunch of new posters, a bunch of new lights, made the game a lot better, added in a little thing in the beginning to fix the gamma rays so we could look a lot more, a little brighter, so you're able to see a lot more things in Chapter 3. I already did a full entire video on that, so if you haven't checked it out, please go check it out. It gives you all the information you need to know on the brand new patch. But yes, it's great to see Chapter 3 getting more patches to make the game even better than it already was. Now moving on to some Project Playtime news. Project Playtime Phase 4 actually might be in development, since Mercury was able to go and actually look at the Steam updates and see after 3 months of silent, Project Playtime has officially gotten an update an hour ago. We have no idea if this is of course a patch, if they're just working to fix the game, or if this is them actually working on Phase 4. I definitely hope they are starting to work on Phase 4 now, since that's technically the closest thing when to get to new Poppy content besides Chapter 4, but it looks like Phase 4 might actually be in the works. Then Mercury actually posted yesterday saying, "We're not back." They halted updates, and then they went and did another update February 16, which is literally yesterday. So as you guys can see, they are still cooking, and sooner or later we might get some more Phase 4 news, which is just pretty amazing to hear. But now moving on to some cut content for Chapter 3. We all know that the toy store was a cut building that was originally meant to be in, the play care. But of course, if you did not know that, well, now you do. And thanks to Fan Entertainment, we were able to see some cut textures for the toy store. I asked, what was this for? I said Ink Chapter 3 textures with Just Nathan saw that. If you don't know, Just Nathan was also like a kind of like a leaker, kind of like a person who just goes through the game's files and find every little bit of like secrets and things that the game has cut in there. So as you guys can see here, the very first one is of course a poster saying Toy Store hours, open from 9 to 6, closes at 6, of course, showing Huggy Wuggy looking at his clock, being shocked. Then we got different iterations of the exact same posters, with some being scratched up, some being all withered away, some being only half withered, and of course some just being outright, you just cannot tell what's there. Hey, guess what? If you made it to this part of the video, it's the halfway mark. I'm legally required to ask you to please subscribe. It only takes a few seconds and it'll really help out the channel. But if you don't want to subscribe and you're still enjoying the video, please feel free to continue watching the rest of the video, liking, or even commenting your opinion. Any of this will really help me out, and it just makes my day. Anyways, back to the video. It's really interesting to see this, and it's just sad how we couldn't see this poster in the game. It would have been cool if we were able to go to the toy store and just like view it, even though there's no purpose to go in there, but sadly it was still cut. We can also see here we got some play money, kind of like Monopoly. Looks like we got the Huggy Man instead of the Monopoly Man. Got the $1 bills, this in yellow, blue, and of course red. It looks like a different texture for stack of different bills. We also got some play coins in different colors like blue, red, and yellow. And of course different Playtime logos, and of course the coin ridges. It's pretty interesting to see these textures. It's just extremely sad how we're never able to go to the toy store, and these will sadly remain unused unless they try to find some way into Chapter 4, or even, you know, who knows, Project Playtime. Also, for some more cut content, thanks to Johnny Blocks on Twitter, we know that Jacksepticeye was also asked to reprise his role as Marcus in Poppy Playtime Chapter 3, but of course, scheduling conflicts sadly caused him not to come back. But he says that if they ever ask me again, I'll gladly come back. So who knows, Chapter 4 might have Marcus in here, aka Jacksepticeye, but sadly, only time will be able to tell. And now moving on to some also more cut content or more concept art. This actually involves both. It's kind of cut and concept art, showing how Catnap was originally meant to die. We do know in the end, spoiler alert, we go and of course shock Catnap, which uses gas, which is most likely flammable, which causes Catnap to erupt in flames. And in this concept art, it looks like Catnap was of course in flames, his fur is starting to melt off his body. It looks like he's trying to like lick it or something just to try to make it, you know, go away. And you can see me also bleeding too. But also keep in mind how he has all his claws still intact. Keep that in mind. The next photo is of course pretty blurry. I'm sorry about the low quality, but it's the only one I could find on this one image, showing Catnap like jumping off somewhere, just like screaming in pain, being fully engulfed in flames, which just looks really painful. Then we get the last one here, showing Catnap on the floor, smoke going, his whole entire body's all burnt out, his hand is all disconnected, and as you guys can see, his claw is also all chopped off. Don't know why, some of his toes also have it too, but he's just burnt and destroyed. I gotta say, this is definitely a more gruesome ending to the one we saw, but maybe they wanted to change it for the prototype to want to do the final blow for some story relevance. But it's pretty interesting to see how Catnap was originally meant to die, and this, I would have liked it, you know, looks pretty gruesome, and it definitely would have been an interesting way for Catnap to die. We also got some more concept art for the you know, Nightmare Huggy, showing all the different bodies. So we know that this is of course concept art, which monster Catnap was meant to have 2 tails, and of course the whole entire body, instead of being look like he's, you know, starving for weeks, was supposed to look like bodies and humans going in and out of it. The game does have that as an actual feature. If you look in the model, it kind of looks like that, but it doesn't look as, you know, cool or as detailed as this. Because trust me, if this was in the game, it definitely would have been nightmare fuel to see all the bodies like this. You could barely kind of see it now, and you kind of have to look at the model, but if you're just playing the game as a casual playthrough, you won't even notice that as even a detail. But now moving on to some concept art instead of cut content. As you guys can see, this was a play care concept art. They still had the whole entire trolley, all the buildings, and everything looks pretty similar to what we actually end up seeing at the end of the day. It's not as bright as this is, but it's definitely the closest we've got. We also get more images on here, some of the gas room, as you guys can see, with the player. Wait, what? It's definitely a shocker to see the player just there in concept art, but maybe this gives us a good idea of what the player actually looks like. And as you guys can definitely see, this whole place is just really interesting. Don't know if that's Catnap back there, and this is how it's supposed to look. Looks like you're supposed to run on, it's supposed to be like avoiding this different obstacles around the place. Looks really interesting. This is also a cut room of how Kissy's room was supposed to look like, and I gotta say, it looked really nice. They probably didn't want it to look this nice, and they made it all a little run down and smaller, but it still would have been really cool to see this more fancier version of Kissy's house. And we also got another upshot of how the old gas room or gas production room was meant to look. It looks pretty interesting, and I still like the one we got now, but this one looks more, you know, manufacturing, you know, it still kind of has that feel to it. We also got some more art portfolios thanks to James. We're able to see some renders for the flare gun here, the green hand and the new upgraded grab pack 2.0, and also the phone, Ollie, or even the prototype. Who knows? There's a whole theory on that. Also, got a little older news. We also got the 3 released plushies for, what's it called again? Crafty Corn, Catnap, and Dog Day from YouTube's. We haven't got any in-hand person images, but I got through full in-depth in all these in, of course, an old video I did later. So don't forget to check out that video, and if we do get more news, I definitely will keep you guys all updated. But anyways, this is me. If this video, let me know in the comments below what you guys do think about today's Poppy Playtime news video. Don't be subscribed, you know, stay tuned for all that news, because I'll keep you guys up to date in every living bit of news when it comes to merch, games, updates, anything like that. But anyways, if this video is supposed to come out on Friday, if you're wondering, but you know, some things happened, but don't worry, it's here now, and enjoy.